Hey everybody, this is Calvin Waite. I trade crypto for a living. I'm not a registered or licensed financial advisor, planner, or broker, so nothing on this channel should be taken as a recommendation to buy or sell. I also trade all of these things, so I probably have a vested interest in there. But there's plenty of entertainment value and lots of education, so this will be awesome. For those of you who didn't know, my subscription channel is live. So look at the link in the description over at cryptoinfluencers.com and you can see how I make all of my trades and what I do and what I think about everything. This channel is for more hypothetical and looking at trends, and the other one is for actual trading, so you might be interested in that. All right, happy Monday, everybody. Here we are, back in action. Unbelievable week last week, just unbelievable. So we'll talk about our weekly close and kind of get down into it, but man, things are set up. We're pretty high, so it would not be a surprise to pull back a little bit this week, but I just don't think there'll be anything devastating. Anyway, before we begin, Mike 20, congratulations. And let's see, it was Maha Tusif. Congratulations on winning $25 of Ethereum. It's either pending or in your account by now. So that is awesome. Thanks for being here. To register, make sure you're on cryptoinfluencers.com. Click on my free channel and subscribe here. And once you're subscribed, you can open chat, and then here's the pro channel if you are interested in how to do what I'm doing. I trade for a living for real, and it's not easy. It's a lot of hard work, and most of the work is patience and emotional work, but it can be done. So anyway, if you're curious about how to do that, then go for it. All right, let's look at this week. First of all, look at yesterday's daily close. It was a close that happened almost exactly on this line. This line's probably a little bit off. The close here was 34.66, and our close yesterday was 34.62. So let me just tell you how perfect that is. This says 74. I wonder if maybe I can just... Oh, cool. Guess I can. Might be a little slow. Okay, we'll go with settings. 34.66. That is where this line is, and it's here because that was our highest daily close, and we closed our week almost exactly on it, within, like, what is that, $4? Whenever I see stuff like this, it means that this is pretty deliberate. This was definitely deliberate. But the fact that we rose from 25,000 all the way up to 31, past 31, and then we've held our ground for a decent amount of time, is amazing. And in fact, to have 3 closes above this line is absolutely huge. So the question is are we too hot? Are we going to pull back and have a rough return? And the answer to that is maybe, but for how deliberate the close is, you have to remember that there are a lot of people that did not get in on this move. It moved so fast that they're trying to figure out how to get in, and they're waiting for a pullback. And this is what I was saying last week, just how brutal this move is, for how quick it was. Whales are not letting people get in very easily. They're trying to make people FOMO buy. And so the longer they can hold it up here, the more people will cave and buy at this point, or in the next push, they'll kind of force people to buy in at a worse spot. So this is very constructed, and but you know, it's not a bad thing as long as you're on the right side of the trade. Like all of us on the pro channel, we are long, and there should be more upside. We did go from green to yellow. This is usually a selling point. And then when you break back into the white zone, this is the buying point. So it would have been a rough place because this would have been, yeah, exiting the yellow zone happened at 28,430, and we were back into a buy at 28,307. So this was a lot of emotional, it was a full month and a half of emotional roller coaster to really not make up much ground. But it's just some of the way that trading goes sometimes, Well, with this line in place, in the right place, let's go look at the weekly, and you can kind of see. This is my little squiggly of what I think will happen. I think we'll probably pull back. We really want to stay above the top half of this giant weekly candle. And let me just hide it for now. So we have, a very unemotional start to this week. We've got a full 24 hours in a very tight range at the top of this thing. Our highest weekly close was 30,304, and we just closed again, as we just mentioned, 30,462. So this is the highest close of the year. So this entire move off of the bottom, this is our highest weekly close. It's very indistinguishable. I mean, they're right there when you look at it this way. But this is that was quite a heck of a week. So now the question is, what happens here? Does this fall apart? Or if not, or whatever, where are we headed? Well, this is the way I'm reading this chart. This is almost a cup and handle to perfection. I wonder if there's I thought maybe there would be a better drawing tool than what I've got here. Yeah, anyway, I probably have drawn this recently just because it's so obvious, but we absolutely got this close, and we are here. I'll just draw it. But look at this. So if I zoom out, we have wicks back here where we had resistance or support, excuse me. These are support wicks that happened back in 2021 and is even, early 2021. But this is the area that's most important, that we had these wicks that pulled support during this kind of critical down period, and then we kind of went into sort of our double top and then fell apart. Well, these wicks, the low of this wick is 28,805, and the wick of this is 29,278, and then 30,000 was this wick. We have wicks that we have crossed already. So we have a handoff of resistance or support here to resistance here and here. So we have built up a case that there's an important line here. And in fact, it's so important that we are, when we got to this area, we kind of struggled for a few weeks to break below it because it was so important. We had a huge drop and then recovery on this candle here before we finished moving, and we even went kind of sideways for about 3 weeks thinking that maybe this area would hold, and then it broke. So what I'm saying is that there's a line that starts about right here, and then our price action kind of followed down into this area down here, and then we curved right back up to that same exact line. And now we have a pullback and return to the same line. So we've hit this line as, we hit it a lot for kind of switching purposes. We had kind of a struggle with it before we lost it. And then we hit it as resistance, not once, but twice with increasing support. This shape, this formation is called a cup and handle. And if I get this just right, I mean, this is what is so cool. Let's see, what is the low of this? Yeah, the low here is 34.20. So it is nearly the first initial spot here that we originally gathered support. Okay, I'll draw it right there. This is the magic line right here. This is Rocket City. Got to get our rocket in here. This is Rocket City right here. This is where we are going. So we had our wild run, crazy wild run. The first chance we had for 2 red candles in a row. This is our two weeks of pullback. This is back in 2021, beginning of 2021. This area was our first level of support. We pulled up, we retouched this area for support 3 weeks in a row. When we came back here, we supported, we struggled, closed real close to it, resisted with a candle body right on it, and then a small green candle just for a last ditch effort to recover this line. And when we couldn't, it was a drop off. So this is probably the most important line in Bitcoin. I would go with. This is absolutely a critical switching point. So where we struggled here, and now we have 2 candles that have hit this as perfect resistance. Like we are talking the macro, long-term, big picture of this is explosive. It's very, very explosive. So with this being our setup, a setup like this has a target, which is pretty cool. Not every setup gives you a target, and not every target is met. You know, I mean, it's not a guarantee that this will happen, but it definitely gives technical analysts a reason to put a line in the sand. Well, the most accurate way to draw this is the very, very lowest point. I've kind of drawn it from the candle bodies, but to be honest, it is from the very, very tip-top bottom of this line here. That was our 15,500 area. And if I take that and I just bring it up to our line that we've just drawn, this is a $15,000 move. It represents a 100% move off the bottom. Look at that, 96.99%. So we moved 100%. Like, there's just so many round numbers here. It's almost like it's unbelievable. You know, a $15,000 move, about 100% move to the upside. We have the most beautiful cup and handle. And within the cup, we have resistance here twice, and this inverse head and shoulders, along with a perfect handoff of resistance to support right here. And we're above the 200, we're above the 50 monthly. Like, this is a trader's dream. This is the kind of chart that you just wish you could draw with everything in place. It is phenomenal. So here is our target. It is a $15,000 move. So if it takes a couple of weeks, that's okay. You know, if we come down and we struggle with this line for a little while, that's fine. But when we break this line and potentially confirm it as support, there's some work that needs to be done. But if we can do all of that, this is Launchpad. The target is from this line up 15,000. Our number is 45,000. $45,000 Bitcoin is on the table with this move. That is the setup here. This setup is exactly what we're looking for as far as from a technical standpoint. We have everything we need, and we can't forget, you know, we already had a head and shoulders, which there is a target on this as well. This was, let's see, 88 from this place here. So if we take 88, that pretty much puts this at 33. So it's possible, you know, speculation. 33 is about our 100. So we may hit our 100. We may do some work here to establish support. But when we break both of these, we're absolutely out of here. Like it is it is time to fly. So anyway, this week was an amazing setup. I sure did not expect us to hit this line perfectly in 1 week. Bitcoin recently has given us a lot of long, powerful moves in a week. So, you know, this might be the last move we see in a while. We may have a month or potentially, you know, 2 months to do some work to get across this. But ask me if I'm bullish or bearish, and the answer is I am crazy bullish. And if it takes a month, if it takes 6 months, if it takes a year for us to hit this target, it's going to be well worth the wait. So that is Bitcoin. That is your technical analysis on Bitcoin. And all of this was not on the table until this close. So this is literally 24 hours ago, we created this scenario. I speculated because we were in the vicinity, but we closed almost perfectly right on this line. And it's a line that makes sense because we've been here before. This line is 2.5 years old, 2.5 years old. So 2.5 years old line. This is a big deal. So just buckle up, man. It's gonna be fun. So we have kind of a long-term setup here. To be honest, I haven't been watching Ethereum too closely because of it's kind of been following Ethereum. It's been following Bitcoin, and it's been lagging. So between the two, it's been a little bit rough. So I'm just gonna take a quick look and see what I see. Well, you know, it's funny. The same line. You know, we were looking at this in a different spot back 2.5 years ago. So January, we were looking at Bitcoin pulling back, and that was right around here. Ethereum never pulled back. It kind of went up here. But the most important line for Ethereum, we've been switching back and forth across this line here, resistance here. And look, we tagged it perfectly as resistance, and we're pulling back a little bit. So there's another case. There is another case. I'm going to have to go and get my rocket ship. 1 second here. It's right here. If Ethereum finally breaks above this line, we're going to do a similar thing. This is a little less pretty, but you know, at least we're above the 50, we're above the 200. We didn't even come back for the 50-week or 50-month moving average. So there's a lot of really good things here. But if we can overcome this line and find it as support, that number is 1935. So 1935. We really could break out. There's nothing bearish about this at all. In fact, it is pretty great to see a channel like this. Let me just put it here. Copy and paste. We have a parallel channel right here. And so we've got ourselves a lovely bull flag here. And we're struggling with the top part of it. But the awesome part is we're above our 9, we're above our 20. We're above both of our averages, and they are increasing. A breakout is imminent. And when we break out above our bull flag, we're also going to break out of the most important line in Ethereum. And really, there's a lot of movement here. So this one is not quite as picture perfect. But I would kind of put a speculative move. About 850 above here is probably the target. So above this line, 850. Yeah, that puts us at $2,800 Ethereum. Like this is imminent. Like these are the things that could happen in the next couple of months. So is that going to coincide perfectly with potential ETF approval or something like that? Like maybe. Like I don't know what the catalyst will be, But as far as the setup and what the chart is saying, there's a lot of bulls here. There are a lot of bulls. And if you're being impatient and you're looking for places to short, you're going to get wrecked. So I'd be pretty careful shorting right now. And apart from that, pretty awesome. The only thing that we're now needing to focus on will be monthly. So let me visibility. All right, we don't need to see it on our monthly. Okay, from a monthly standpoint, that we're about to close our month in 4 days. We have a phenomenal, like this setup is so bullish. We are testing the 20 right now, and we have a little bit of a bullish engulfing candle here as well. So we have a bearish engulfing, which brought us down to the 50, which ended up being support, which was perfect. Bounced off of this, came back up, created a bullish engulfing, and now we're resisting against our 20. Well, the 20 is sitting at 29,911. So we're just below 30,000 as resistance on this 20. And if we can break this, we could have quite a move. So, I know we're all waiting for the halving. Supposedly the halving event is what is going to stimulate the big move. But if the setup is right, Bitcoin can move. And there is a lot of perfection happening on pretty much every time frame to get Bitcoin and Ethereum to really launch. And so if the setup is right, the emotions are right, the FOMO is there, the interest is there, it can go. But yeah, I'm not looking for shorting opportunities yet. But when things get hot, I will be, we'll be pretty careful. We'll kind of look and see where there are potential places where we could fall apart. But on the monthly, you can really see this handoff where these 3 months had a wick of support that flipped as resistance here. So that line is definitely here, and it's definitely in play. On the monthly, I'd probably put it closer to, 31,600, wherever this closes, 31,700. Yeah, because it's probably our high point here that we just touched. So when we slowly try to cross a line, we usually tag it with a wick, and then we'll tag it with a body, and then usually you go across, unless you have a big candle to just destroy it, which that's always on the table. So let's see if there's anything for Ethereum. Yeah, I mean, this chart really does say it all, and this rocket is appropriate for this chart. We had a reversal candle here, which means we would pull back. Well, what did we do? We pulled back exactly to the 9, hit support on this breakout level here. This is ready for a rocket for sure. I mean, it's pretty. This is a setup. We wait years for these things, We waited a full year pulling back, looking for the right moves for support, for breakout, flip to support. Like this could be a heck of a month. Like the next probably 60 days could be some of the funnest that we've seen in at least a year and a half for sure. But man, there could be some fun stuff coming up. So it's exciting. I'm definitely locked and loaded, ready to watch this thing lift off the ground. Okay, that's pretty much it. Today, alts are bleeding a little bit. There are a couple of weird coins. BCH is benefiting from Bitcoin's bullish news. So this thing is pretty unstoppable. About to hit my double mark on this particular trade, which is cool. And then I noticed BSV also was jumping up. Yeah, BSV is another one that's almost everything's in the red except for the variants of Bitcoin and a few others, but everything has moved. And the big moves from alts have happened because of Ethereum. And so if Ethereum gets its breakout, we're going to have a full-blown alt season. So Bitcoin dominance is very high, and all we have to do is pull back a little bit, and it'll be full alt season because there's a lot of money here. So anyway, we'll watch all these things and talk about it over the next week. So make sure you join us for the Wednesday live stream at 12:30 Mountain Time. Other than that, we'll catch you tomorrow and see how things are going. But man, pretty awesome setup. Things are looking pretty nice today. All right, we'll see y'all later. Thanks for making it to the end of my video. Make sure you keep those trades small. Don't force a trade. Don't get impatient. And if you want to see how all this works, please come over and check me out on the subscription channel at cryptoinfluencers.com. Again, the link is in the description.